Okay, folks, let's look at some typical higher tier non-calculator questions that appear every single year on Edexcel papers for the Pearson example, okay, for GCSE maths, okay. So 15A, part A, that's to find the value of the cube root of 8 times 10 to the power of 6. Now, the cube root can be written as power of a third, so I can rewrite this as 8 times 10 to the power of 6, all raised to the power of a third, okay, or 1/3. So power of a third in math, power of a third means the cube root, the third root, the cubic root, okay. What next? Well, I can split this up into 8 to the power of a third multiplied by 10 to the power of 6, all to the power of a third, okay. So I'm raising each term, okay, or each numerical value to the power of a third in my bracket. Okay, so power of a third means the cube root. So 8 to the power of a third is the cube root of 8, which is 2. So you have 2 times by. Now here we've got 10 to the 6, always the power of a third. Now when it's a power to power rule, so a base number or term raised to a power raised to another power, then I'm going to multiply the two terms. So 6 times a third makes 2. So we have 2 times 10 squared, or 2 times 10 to the power of 2. So that's going to be 200, okay? Because 10 squared here is 100. 2 times 100 is 200, okay? Part B, find the value of 144 to the power of a half times by 64 to the power minus a third. So power of a half means a square root. So I'm going to have the square root of 144 multiplied by, now 64 to the minus third, or the minus, so the negative indice or the negative power makes it 1 over. So I'm going to have 1 over the cube root of 64. Okay, yeah, because obviously power of a third is the cube root. Okay, so let's obviously work this out. Yeah, so the square root of 144 is 12. The cube root of 64 is going to be 4. So I have 12 lots of a quarter. So 12 times a quarter is equal to 3. Okay, because 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, and 12 times 12 is 144. Okay, so 12 is the square root of 144, and 4 is the cube root of 64, because 4 times 4 times 4, or 4 cubed, is 64. Part C, okay, this one's a bit more trickier. So I have to solve 3 to the 2x equals 1 over 81. So it's knowing that 1/81 can be expressed as a power of 3. So 81 actually is 9 times 9, which is the same as saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 81 here is going to be written as 3 to the power of 4. But I've got 1 over 81, so 1 over 81 makes it 3 to the minus 4, so it makes it negative power, so it's 3 to the minus 4. Okay, so we now have 3 to the 2x equals 3 to the power minus 4. So if I compare my powers of 3, guys, okay, so 2x equals minus 4. Okay, dividing it by 2 on both sides, we have that x is equal to minus 2, or x is equal to negative 2. Okay, so divide it by 2, divide it by 2. These 2's cancel, so we get x equals minus 4 halves, so x equals minus 2 or negative 2. Okay, obviously check it if you're unsure. So now 3 to the power of 2 times minus 2, or 2 lots of minus 2 makes minus 4. So we have 3 to the minus 4, which indeed is 1 over 81. Okay, it becomes 1 over 3 to the 4, which is 1 over 81. Okay, 3 to the 4 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which gives you 81. Okay, so yeah, that's a very, very classic exam style question that will appear every single year without fail on your higher tier Edexcel, OCR and AQA, looking at fractional and negative indices. Okay, negative indices here just alone can also be a foundation, but these questions here was taken from a higher tier paper, so bear that in mind.